hello to Madi Colville-Walker, who is going to tell us where she is, but welcome to Sunbird Country Music, Madi.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Now, I believe you're in between sets at the moment. You've taken some time out.
I am. So I'm currently busking in a little country town called Echuca. Just having a bit of fun and yeah, it's been great so far. I've done one set and it's been lovely. Everybody's been really lovely and really supportive and it's great. Yeah.
So what do you like about busking? Because for some people that would, probably be a little fear inducing.
Oh, I love busking because I just feel like it's easy to connect to an audience. And you're able to grow your audience as well. And one of my favorite things, and this just happened before this, I love little kids, and I love when little kids come up to me and they want to talk to me. And this little kid come up to me before and he's like, "Hi, I'm Teddy," and he was just so happy, and just to see the joy on his face to hear music and just to see people's joy when they walk past to hear live music, because it's something that hasn't happened in a while, I guess. It's with the whole COVID thing, everything's kind of been shut away, and it's just great to see people out and about and enjoying music.
Yeah. So when was your very first busking gig? Can you remember?
Oh, my very first busking gig, I think I was 16 and I was busking at home in Echuca Moama for the Winter Blues Festival, and it was just after I'd gotten back from Tamworth, and I just thought I'd do some busking, and it was great, and I fell in love with it from then on. And I just any chance that I get to do any busking, I take it up straight away because I love it.
I imagine you have to keep quite a set list of songs in your brain for busking, because you might be out there for a while, or someone might even make a request. So do you know how many songs you know?
Not off the top of my head. No.
A lot.
I know a few.
It was probably a trick question. It's like, why don't you count them up? No. Yeah, I'm sure you know a few. And I've also seen I saw a clip of you on YouTube, 20 minutes. There's a beautiful set. I think it was Songs from the Couch or something like that on YouTube. And you're really such a natural performing. Like, you just look like you're in your element. So I imagine for your busking audience, it's a real treat.
Oh, thank you. That's very lovely. Thank you so much.
Well, you mentioned Tamworth, coming back from Tamworth, and I'm guessing that's when you went to the CMAA Junior Academy you're talking about. So am I right in thinking you've been a couple of times?
I have been a couple of times. My first time was when I was 17. Oh, no, must have been 16. Mm-hmm. And then the second time I was, I think I was 18, almost 18, so 17, yeah.
So does that mean you loved it enough the first time that you went back for more?
Absolutely loved it. Had the best time. It was actually kind of funny because I started performing a little bit later than everybody else at the academy. So my first time singing was actually on the stage at Tamworth for the graduation performance. And I remember being so terrified, and I come back to my mum because my mum had never heard me sing before either. Oh. And I remember coming back to my mum and I said, "Mum, I don't think I can do this. All these other kids have been singing since they were 2, and I've only just started out. Like, I'm only still finding my voice. I don't think I'm right for this." And, we drove 11 hours from Echuca to Tamworth. So she was kind of like, either do it or we can go back home. And I thought, I'll do it. And I'm glad I did, because honestly, I don't think, I'm not sure what I would be doing with myself now if I hadn't have, gotten the courage to get up on stage.
Yeah, well, you really raised the stakes for yourself doing that, I guess. Say, I'm going to perform for the first time at this festival in front of all these people.
It was a bit nerve-wracking. It was very terrifying, but I'm really glad that I did it. I'm really proud of myself, and I'm proud of how far I've come in such a short time. But it's not a selfish pride. It's, I honestly would have never thought that I would be doing some of the stuff that I'm doing now.
Right. Well, so you mentioned coming to music a bit later than some other people might. Yeah. So what brought you to music?
I've always grown up around music. Music's always been in my family, so I've been very grateful with that. My grandfather used to be a musician, and then his son was a musician, so my uncle, and then My cousin's a musician, and yeah, it's just something that I guess is in our bloodline. And yeah, you know, to be able to continue that is really honoring. Yeah, it's something that I'm really proud to have in my family and in my bloodline. So as if I can share it with the world, then it's what I want to do.
So did you pick up an instrument before you started singing, or did they come together?
It kind of came together. I started playing guitar a little bit more before I started singing, and that was it was good that I learned how to sort of play before I started to sing. And I remember my grandfather always used to say to me, you know, you've got to sing. Like, I know you can sing. You've got to sing. And I was like, oh, Pop, I don't think I can. You know, I'm not that good anyway. I did. And yeah, I'd love to. He's not around anymore, but I hope I make him proud.
I'm sure you do. So had he heard you singing around the house? Like, or did he just have this, he just like heard tiny snippets and thought, there's something there?
I think he always kind of had a feeling like this one can sing, because I'm the youngest. So I feel like he's always kind of been like, yeah, she can sing. She's got it. She can do it. And yeah, just a lot of encouragement from Pop. Yeah, and I got up on stage, and I'm just really glad that I did.
Yeah. So then, I mean, because as you said, you weren't singing from the age of 2, but you decided to go to the junior academy. So what was that? Where did that decision come from? Is it just a sense of, I need to do this to push myself at this stage?
So, funny story. I went on a school camp to Lake Mungo. I'm not sure if you know where that is, but it's a beautiful place out in the desert. And they had a little talent show on one of the nights, and you know, all these kids are getting up to sing or to tell jokes or to do whatever talent they have. And I remember sitting in the audience, and I said to my teacher at the time, I said, I think I want to get up and sing. And he goes, all right, we'll take you backstage. Takes me around to the back of the tent. And anyway, I get up on stage, and I had to compose myself because I was honestly terrified, but it was something that I knew that I had to do. I'm not sure where it come from, but I thought, if I don't do this now, I just won't feel right. So I get up on the stage, and I'm sitting on a chair with the microphone in my hand, composing myself and trying to calm all my nerves down. I've got that many nerves running through me. And I sing. I remember singing Sandcastles by Beyonce. It was one of the biggest songs ever. And anyway, everyone seemed to love it. And then from there, I got an application sent to me to the CMAA Junior Academy, and I applied. And then I told Mum that I'd gotten in, and she goes, can you sing? And I said, oh, I guess I kind of can. So yeah, then it just goes on from there.
I love that you pretty much kept it from your mother that you had this talent, and I'm sure she loved finding it out, but it would also probably been a bit strange, thinking, what else is my child hiding from me?
I feel like, I kind of feel like she always knew that I could sing too. She wanted to be a musician. My mum can sing and play guitar too, so there was a lot of influence from her as well. And you know, I remember she was telling me that Nan and Pop told her that she couldn't be a musician. She had to get a real job. And then when I said, I want to be a musician, she said, go for it. Just do it. And yeah, so, I mean, I hope I make her proud too.
I am absolutely sure, especially given the caliber of what you've put out, just what I've seen online. I mean, I know you have one single out, which we'll talk about, but your voice, I mean, as you said, you came to music relatively late, but your voice sounds like it's been around forever, and maybe that's what your Pop heard. So I'm wondering, obviously you listen to Beyonce, but are there other artists you listen to who you feel helped shape your voice identity? Because I think it's one thing as a singer to, you know, you can sing along to other people and sound like them, but then you have to find your own identity.
Yeah, definitely. There's so many artists that I listen to and that I admire. I love Stevie Nicks. She's amazing. I get a lot of my my fashion from her. I get a lot of inspiration with that sense. Dolly Parton, another massive favorite. I love her songwriting, and she's just amazing. She just seems like a beautiful human being. Who else do I love? I love Loretta Lynn. I love Patsy Cline. I love really old country music. I was born and raised with that, so that's got a really special place in my heart. Oh goodness, there's just so many artists that I love, and so many music genres that I appreciate. So it's kind of hard to have a favorite, but yeah.
Well, they're all good, really good people to listen to, great influences. Now, as I said, you have a single out, which is Less Than a Man. And I'm wondering what the inspiration is behind that song, because your voice has this beautiful, warm, rich quality to it. But the lyrics in that song are a bit tough on the person they're singing to. And it's sort of like it's not like you're trying to sugarcoat the message. It's more like, I don't know, you're presenting it in an irresistible way. It's like, I'm going to tell it to you like this, so it's really the truth.
Yeah. Oh, so, it's one of those, Less Than a Man is one of those songs that's really come straight from the heart. And the thing that I love about songwriting and lyrics and just music in general is you can put as much emotion as you want in it and say what you want to say without actually having to say it. So I guess it's just one of those songs that's very, like from my heart, and it was what I was feeling at the time, and I wasn't really sure how to explain it, so I just kind of put it into a song and let it all out.
Yeah, it's a stern talking to that doesn't sound stern. I'm like, yeah, it's whoever this is for, they need to hear it. But on that Songs from the Couch video, I saw you were playing some of your originals, and you mentioned that people say to you, oh, your songs are about heartbreak and whatnot, and you said that may be the case, but I actually haven't had that much heartbreak in my own life.
It's really funny. Like, I really think about it all the time. Like, I'll watch a old performance or something, and I'll think, oh my goodness, like, people will probably think that I've been through so many heartbreaks and my poor little heart's just not coping very well. But honestly, I'm fine. I'm happy, and I love my life. And yeah, it's just funny that songs come about, that heartbreak songs come about more easier than happier songs, I guess.
Yeah. Do you think maybe it's because as a songwriter you're thinking of your audience? You're like, maybe there's someone who needs to hear this, rather than thinking I need to write this, if that makes sense? Definitely.
That's one way that I connect to my audience as well, is storytelling. I see myself as a storyteller, and yeah, that's how I hope to connect with somebody who's watching me, or somebody that's never heard of me before. And I always really appreciate it when people, send me messages and say, oh, I heard your song on this radio station, or I heard you live at this venue, and, I really related to this song or that song. And it really does make my day, because I feel like, I'm connecting to people that I don't know. And that's one of my favorite things to do. I love meeting new people and, just connecting.
Yeah, I mean, it could have the flip side and make you feel exposed, like, oh my God, these people know me, like they're hearing my lyrics. So it's always find it such an interesting exchange that you have, because it's, as a performing artist, it's that dual connection, I guess. You have the connection in writing the song and recording it, and someone can hear that and contact you, but then you also go out there and perform it, and that's such an immediate connection, which I imagine can be a little bit fraught sometimes if someone reacts very strongly to you in person. But it sounds like it's all pretty mild.
I mean, so far it's been mild. Let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah, but I guess it's also proof for you that you're on the right path with what you're writing and performing, because people are connecting to it.
Yeah, it's a great feeling, and I'm so grateful for everybody who's supported me so far, and for my family and for my team and for just everybody. I'm so grateful for them, and I will continue to say it for the rest of my music career. I'm so appreciative of them and all the work that they do to help me get to where I am today.
So given that you have some other originals, because I've heard them on YouTube, and I would imagine that you're planning some other singles, but how did you come to choose Less Than a Man as your first single?
I don't actually know. It's just, I feel like it was one of the first. So I've been songwriting since I was 15, and when I first started out, I hadn't really experienced a lot of things in my life to to write about. I was just kind of writing for the sake of writing in a way, and I wasn't really sure what I was saying. I'm only 20 now, so it's not a long time, but within those few years I've experienced a lot of things, and like they're not bad, they're like great things, like I said, I have a great life, I love my life, but there's some things, when you have like some days that are a bit more downer than others, yeah, so a lot of those, not a lot of those days, but some of those days, just songwriting, and you just pour your heart out onto this piece of paper. And I wrote Less Than a Man after a heartbreak that I had, and I just kind of thought, this was one of the first songs that I wrote as a young woman rather than a young girl.
Right.
So I felt like it was very it still connects with me even today, it's just one of those songs that just the transition from a young girl into a young woman.
Yeah. So when you write songs, because you mentioned writing lyrics down, do you deliver? Is it lyrics first for you and then melody?
Sometimes it can be either or. Usually I always have my guitar with me. I take it everywhere. It always comes with me. And if I come up with a chord progression that I like, I'll sing around those chords and put a melody down, or sometimes I'll be in the car and I'll think of something, so I get my little voice memo out and record that and then try and put the chords to that, or it just kind of just comes from wherever.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it, isn't it? The ideas come from wherever, and the trick is to document them as soon as they come to you before they fly away.
Definitely.
Now, you have a festival appearance coming up, Treaty Day Out in Shepparton on the 26th of February. It's a big lineup. You must be looking forward to being part of it.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for this festival. It's such an honour to be on the same lineup as some of these artists. They're all of the artists that I absolutely adore and I love, and I've worked with a few of them, like Alice Skye, currently doing some work with Uncle Archie Roach, which is so excited to share what we've been working on. It's just I can't even explain how grateful I am to be on the lineup. These are artists that I've always looked up to my whole music career, and I'm just speechless. It just makes me really speechless. I'm so grateful.
Well, I'm sure the festival planners don't put you on there unless they think you're worthy of being on the stage. But still, because I think you've played a support slot for Archie Roach before. I think you've also done support for Fanny Lumsden amongst some others.
Yeah, I have, and I love Fanny Lumsden. She's amazing. We've got a great little connection. And even Uncle Archie, I love supporting him, and I've done it a few times now, and it's such a beautiful experience. I just love Uncle Archie's storytelling and just his whole performance. It's so amazing. It's so powerful, and it's something that I really look up to as a performer as well, to have that powerfulness, that storytelling powerfulness. It's something that's it's just amazing to have.
Well, good thing is, because that's a festival outdoors, it will probably go ahead. There shouldn't be any restrictions that prevent it. Yeah. So I'll just repeat that: 26th of February in Shepparton in Victoria for anyone who is in the area. And after that, are you going to head for the new Tamworth Festival in April?
I am. I'm heading up to Tamworth in April, and I'm looking forward to that. I was looking forward to Tamworth, which was supposed to be last week, I think it was, a couple of weeks ago. But I've got a few gig slots up there, and I'm super excited to share my music and to connect with more artists and meet new artists that I haven't met before. And I'm super excited. I'm so happy that it's still going ahead. I was a little bit heartbroken when it got postponed, but I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be one of the best times. Haven't been in a couple of years. So. And
I suppose there might be some other CMAA graduates you can catch up while you're there.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm looking forward to as well. Catching up with my friends that I haven't seen for 2 years, maybe 3 years. It'll be good to see them perform too, to see their growth as well. I'm super proud of everybody that's been in the first academy that I went to, and also the second one. They're doing so well. I'm so proud of them all.
Yeah. Well, Maddie, it was truly lovely to talk to you. The song is Less Than a Man. It's wonderful. I'm certainly hoping that you put out new songs soon, especially because I know you have written a few. So have a wonderful time at Treaty Day Out and in Tamworth.
Thank you.
And hopefully I'll talk to you again in the future.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.